my neighborhood.
This is where I work.
This is where I got my education.
These are my aspirations.
This is my family.
This is Canada.
This is home.
These are my folks.
This is where we call now our home because we're trying to be settled here. I was terminated by my employer. You can create art in different ways like music, poem, paintings. But for us at the Magkaisa Centre, the art that we previously created and now with this new one, it is our way of giving back to the people for them to be aware of the history and the experiences of our community. As a community organizer, my role is first is to educate myself about my rights as a worker and to be aware of the issues that our community is facing too. Through that, I can help my fellow workers to raise their awareness about their rights as a workers, and then to educate them about the issues that the workers are experiencing, most especially women in our community under the Live-in Caregiver program.
Art and culture is a very important part of what we do here at the Magkaisa Centre in terms of educating, organizing, and mobilizing our community. And all the art that we create, it's from the people, for the people. So we have a social context to all the art that we create. It's pretty much gathering the experiences of our community, creating art that reflects our experiences, presenting it in a creative fashion, and then giving it back to the community so that they can see what they've created.
Packing up the balikbayan boxes every year is a way of showing my kids that even though I'm far from them, but I still think what are the things that they need, what are the things that they want. But unlike if they're here with me, I don't need to do all this kind of stuff every year. So it is the same with the experiences of our community, that when it comes to education, we are the highly educated workers, professionals and bachelor's degree back home. But when it comes to the employment, we are the one who's getting the job, which is low-paying jobs. So where we can see ourselves, we're in the bottom. We pay our taxes, we contributed to the economy of Canada. So I think we are entitled to the genuine settlement and integrations that we want.
We continue to build upon the knowledge and the information that we create so that we move towards benefiting our community in the long run by analyzing our existing conditions.
We have been coming here since the 1960s. Firstly, as skilled professionals in the 60s, Canadians of Filipino descent were able to practice their professions here in Canada.
So we often hear people saying that they came to Canada because they want a better future and they want to build a better home for themselves and they want better opportunities. You know, it's no secret that a lot of immigrants, and as immigrants, we do end up getting pigeonholed into dead-end, low-wage jobs and policies such as, you know, cutting back settlement funding, millions of dollars that have been cut back in our budget.
From the 80s until now, we have been seeing that although Canada still recruits Filipinos as permanent residents, we have also seen a steady increase of the recruitment of living caregivers.
I got an employer like within a month, and then without knowing that it's not real, it's a ghost employer. I don't have any pocket money coming here, expecting that I have arriving here is I really have a job, and then no family here. It's myself alone, and then no place to stay, expecting that you're gonna live in your employer's house. But then no work, no money, no place to live. It's really a nightmare, and I didn't really expect that, because like the promises that being advertised in the newspapers, being advertised by the agencies that you're gonna have a better future, good job, gonna earn a lot in Canada compared to some countries. So, and coming back to that experience of mine until now, even though that I've been here for 3 years anyhow, but it's still like sometimes in the middle of the night I still remember that bad experience of mine.
Ngayon, nung dumating ako dito sa Canada is May 2004. Doon ako nakabase sa sa Newmarket. 2 anak, 14 years old at saka 16, kaya malaki-laki na. Kaya araw-araw yun at yun na lang yung tinatrabaho ko. Mag-laundry, maglinis araw-araw. Pero sa pagkalaki-laki ng bahay, hindi ko alam nga schedule. Yun pala ang trabaho dito, schedule pala yan. At isa pa, minsan nating gabi na ako matapos kasi nagpa-plansa. Minsan, inuutosan ako mag-lawn mower. Na yung lawn mower nila, pagkabigat-bigat pa man din, tapos sa likuran ng bahay, parang bulubundok-bundukin. Yung tinatawanan niya ako ng kapitbahay ng amo ko dahil nakikita niya kung mag-struggle ako ng magtulak ng ng lawn mower na pagkalaki-laki pa. During magbaba naman, baba naman ako, takbo ka naman pababa dahil kasama ka talaga sa lawn mower dahil malaki, mabuti sana kung flat ang area. Ito pa naman, ang expected ko talaga na 8 hours ang trabaho. Yun lang naman ang alam ko. Hindi na mag-i-exceed doon, pero hindi pala natutupad yun. As long as nasa live-in caregiver program ka, talagang sumusobra ka sa oras. Minsan, parang overtime ka na, wala pa rin, wala rin bayad. At saka dito, pwede ka daw mag-aral, pero bago pa lang naman ako, hindi ko pa alam ang mga pasikot-sikot dito. Kaya parang baliwala pa muna sa akin yun. Ang focus ko lang muna, makapag-earn ako ng pera, mapadala sa amin dahil sa pagpag-aaral ng mga anak ko at mga kapatid ko na nag-aaral.
There's really the need to actually look at what's behind this reality and to study and be really critical of, what's going on here in Canada and what are Canada's needs? How does Canada continue to grow and expand its economy? and compete. It's really through the expansion of its pool of cheap labor.
Kasi maraming mga matanda ngayong alagaan. Ngayon, bago ako umalis ng amo ko at bago pa man dumating ang pamilya ko, nagsimula na ako mag-aral ng PSW every weekend nga lang. Tapos, para man lang pag maiba naman yung status ko sa trabaho. Pinagtapos ako ng August, July, umalis na ako sa amo ko. Sinabi ko na sa kanila na sabi ko gusto ko nang umalis dito at maghanap na ako ng ibang trabaho para at least pag dumating man ang pamilya ko, nakasettle down ako, kumbaga may permanente na akong trabaho. Kaysa naman umalis ako doon sa kanila, na kapag dumating yung mga kamag-anak ko, walang trabaho, saan kami titira? Walang pangbayad. So, nang umalis ako sa amo ko, 2008 din ako nagtapos ng PSW ko. Umalis ako ng amo ko, July 2008. Pero hindi pa ako naghanap ng trabaho noon. Tinapos ko lahat yung mga assignment ko, mga clinical ko sa nursing home at sa retirement home. Tapos kumuha pa ng government exam. Tinapos ko lahat yun bago ako naghanap ng trabaho. At nagkataon naman noon na recession. Kaya medyo mahirap-hirap din ang paghanap ng trabaho noon dahil hindi nagtatanggapan dahil nga recession nga. Gusto nila yung mga kanilang empleyado na dati muna ang pagtuunan nila ng pansin. Pero nakapasok rin ako ng bandang agency, yung nagtatrabaho sa kumbaga on-call duty yon sa hospital, sa Toronto General Hospital, sa Toronto Western, sa Princess Margaret Hospital, doon kami nagtatrabaho on-call duty. At saka sa nursing home. Yung sa nursing home naman, para kang yung mga challenges at struggle mo, hindi biro dahil ang lalaki ng mga tao, may paliguan ka pa, ilalagay mo pa sa wheelchair, nakabigat-bigat. Kaso mo, hindi naman yung sabihin na full-time, kung part-time ka lang at kung kailan ka lang tatawagan.
I was terminated by my employer like March, and then my health card will be expired by June. While looking for an employer to work with, and then thinking about your OHIP will be expired in a couple of months, and then like I went there because I already received the letter from them that I can renew my OHIP. So I went there in their office and tried to show that papers, but then they denied it because they said that I don't have a new work permit. Until you can get your new work permit or you can't find an employer, you can't really access for the healthcare. So that's what I'm thinking at that time, that how about within the frame time of 3 months and you get sick, what are you gonna do? Because you can access the services. How about if you get accident? Do you think caregivers can afford that? Like for their low minimum wage salary every month, do you think they can afford to pay for that?
So more and more people now are coming through the Temporary Foreign Workers Program as opposed to permanent immigration programs.
There's all these papers you have to get done, but you're at the whole feeling behind it. It's like you're waiting, and you're like worried.
And then while waiting, you're really like, oh, what's going on with my papers? It can be like, it's a grant or not, or something like that. Or while my papers is on process, my employer will still keep me, or they're gonna terminate me. Like there's a work permit, and then there's an open work permit, like the application. But then even though you submitted that, it's not a guarantee that you can receive your PR. Then if you're being terminated, right? So you're going back again, right? Because you have to start all over again to find a new employer. And then if you got that, another work permit for your new employer, then you have to submit your for the open permit. So you're there and you're being covered up, but like those things, even though you're in the middle, then there's a tendency that you have to go back all over again and then have to strive hard again until the time that you can get your PR.
Alright.
Because that's really the reality for the LCP. It's really going up and down, up and down.
What we found also was that there was like contradictory experiences in like different countries. Like the idea of settling into a country or just going to a country to make money, and then we found that like if people were talking about Hong Kong, it was just to make money, and then when people talk about Canada, it was supposedly to build a new home.
Yeah.
So like, literally, this is what is being like Canada being sold as that place for settlement and integration, but it's not. It's actually denied, and that's why we need to bring it up.
The issue of genuine settlement integration is really central to our organization's work. So these influx, like these programs, really create this permanent state of impermanence for workers under them.
I graduated 1980 as a forest ranger course related to forestry. And then when I went to Singapore, I studied this baking, sewing. It's just a pastime education. And I studied also nursing aid. And then I went to Hong Kong, I studied again nursing aid again for 6 months. And then until I come here to Canada, I studied again this healthcare related, like the PSW, personal support worker. And I'm planning to go to school, but I don't think I have the time to do that because I just barely have my full-time work, full-time job. So, natatakot naman ako na maiwanan yung trabaho ko, baka mawala pa sa akin kasi ngayon lang ako nagka-full-time ng trabaho.
Back home, I studied like bachelor's degree for secondary education. You know, you get that kind of profession, and then coming here in Canada, like you can't practice that. Instead of giving you a chance to explore, like to develop more, like your personalities, your professions, but then you don't have a chance because like you can even go back to study while in the program. So it's not that easy, like for 2 years, or now they increase it like within 3 years. So it's a long years of being this skilled and, you know, not doing anything connected to your profession. So it's really hard.
Pagka dating ng pamilya ko dito, bali April 2009 yon. Lumipat na kami. Kumbaga ako, kuntudo ang trabaho ko dahil nga ako lang mag-isa ang nagkakayod, tapos ang renta ng apartment namin is 800 a month. So kailangan ko talagang minsan mag-absent ako, samahan ko sila maghanap ng trabaho. Samahan mo pa ng kumbaga samahan mo pa sila kung saan sila na-assign yung mga lugar kung saan sila ang sasakyan. Kuha na kami ngayon, naka-base kami for 3 years na ngayon sa apartment, renta pa rin, pero tumataas kada buwan ang rental, parang hindi na yata mahinto. Ang kuwan pa dyan, ang masakla pa kasi parang kumbaga kikita ka, kukunti lang ang sahod mo, kikita ka kumbaga ng like 1,000 a month, tapos rental mo 800, naubos na yung kita mo dun sa kababayad sa apartment. May kasama kami, nagsishare kami ng bayad sa apartment. Bali, 3 kami nagko-owner doon. Tapos kumuha lang kami ng mga ibang nagbo-boarding house. Bali, dinadagdag namin yun sa dinadagdag namin doon sa bayad namin sa apartment. Siguro mga kwan kami noon. Nung may sumali sa amin, nagsobra kami ng 8 doon. Kaya siyempre, kahit live out ka na, nakakababa pa rin ang bayad namin. Kaso lang, masikip naman na sa loob ng apartment. Nasa labas yung iba, nasa kwarto yung iba, kaya masikip din sa loob. Mga live-in caregivers din sila. Every weekend lang naman ang punta nila, kaya pag weekdays wala namang tao sa apartment. So bali weekend lang kami nakikita-kita.
Like this time you can't really stay on this program and then like earning below the minimum wage. You're thinking that you want to continue study, then like to get or like to go back to your profession, whatever is it back home, but then it is also another things that you need to think of that you can really afford to or not. Caregivers coming their family here after they're getting their permanent residency, so it's another burden to them. Finding a place with a lower paying job, and then like for me, we're also contributing, paying our taxes, and then we're also paying like for the landing fee, processing of papers, like for your PR, everything. So I think we are doing our part to follow the rules. I think for me they should return it back to us, like to give us like. Because this is where we call now our home, because we're trying to be settled here. So I think Canadian government should give us to like in return for what we have done to the economy of Canada. Housing, accessing for the healthcare and social services. I think they should focus on that too. Malaki ang impact niya, like talagang malaki under sa program, most especially like kung may family ka back home. So I don't know what are the feelings that they can feel when they see me. Like I'm thinking that I'm gonna be a stranger to them because of the long years that we've been separated from each other. Kaya hindi ko na kaya, kailangan ko nang umuwi, ate.
Hindi ka pa nag-uwi?
Hindi nga, 2007 umalis ako ng Pilipinas. So 6 years and a half na. So hopefully by next year, makauwi ako. But then like, kung sa program ka, you don't really have that time. Gusto mo naman if you still want to go back home, you don't have time because you're being tied up with your papers. Like you need to complete it before you go back home. So it's hard.
One more question or point. How important is it to continue to keep looking at these issues?
In our community, like it's still important that we're still gonna continue this because like as long that there's caregivers coming in, temporary foreign workers coming in, they still have to be aware, that the rights and then like what's really the reality in the community. That the center, like the organizing is the way.
Let us be let us be the voices of other people.
Because like for caregivers, I know even though they want to say something, they want to object, they want to say no, this is their rights, but they can't because of the papers. So like Ate Chona is trying to say is that if they can do it, like we are the one who can speak in behalf of them, like what are their calls, what are their issues, and then we can address it to the government. Because like they're being shut up by, they need to shut their mouth, even they have something to say. So
and it's speaking to how the fact that we don't accept that this is our role for in the future. Like we want more for our community in Canada, right? Like we don't want our community to be in this
bottom.
so like in this position, and it's for next generations too. It's for my generation.
Yeah, and my kids' generations too. Yeah,
and the next generation.
Yeah, that's why like it is a start. Like for me as a mother and as a worker here too. Like it's good that being as an organizer, it's educate myself. Like then I can pass it on to my kids that whatever I experience with my time right now, I don't want them to experience too. You know, that in their time there's gonna be a better future, a better settlement, really a genuine settlement and integration that they really have to, like, you know, they don't have to struggle for that, to achieve that, because they are entitled to that.
Rise up, root down, rise up again. Yeah, we're resurrecting what they said was over and dead. We're in a war against forgetting the roots of this tree. Until we reclaim history, we'll never be free. And my vocabulary's like your worst adversary, but on the contrary, I ain't your bride to marry. Filipina, stand up and let them know who you be. Don't apologize for the words that you speak, and I am proud of those that came before me. So with lyrical flow, I'll spread this message like a seed. I won't go quietly, I'll take the lead. It's an act of resistance to be all of me, cause too often we're exoticized, stolen identities, descendants of a lost tribe. Take back your victory, call this equality. You ain't looking closely, my people may be smiling, but the system's killing us softly. So rock steady, this is motion, not pain. Roar, curse the ceiling, cause there will be change. Said, where was the love when she swept under the rug, banking off her labor while they call her children thugs? Nah, smell her sweat, yeah, it's the working class. Pops resort to cleaning while my mother keeps wiping the ass. But check the script, say word, we're the writers now. We'll tell our own story and then we'll take a bow.
United, we'll never be